Welcome to another webinar presented by Unilock, and today our guest is Jason from Web ROI, and I'm quite excited because I think you guys are going to pull a lot of relevant information out of this presentation. So I'm going to let Jason go ahead and introduce himself.
Thank you, Carolyn. Welcome everybody. Appreciate the opportunity. Today we're really talking about COVID-19 specifically and how to set your business up, some actions that you can take immediately to set your business up to get through this difficult time and come out thriving on the other side. I just want to start by giving a little bit of an introduction of who we are. My company is Web ROI. We were founded in 2005 as WSI Milton. WSI is a global franchise with over 1,000 offices in 90 countries worldwide. And we rebranded a few years ago as Web ROI because we grew to the #1 office in Canada, #1 digital marketing office in Canada with WSI, and also #3 in the world. So we rebranded as Web ROI because that's who we wanted. That really represents what we do. We help our clients get a return on their investment. Just to tell a little bit of a story about how we came to be connected with Unilock, way back in 2007, we started working with Van Beek's Garden Supplies in Oakville, and we're still working with them to this day. But they were getting really good results and showing up for a lot of search phrases on Google, and Unilock noticed that they were showing up for the search terms that Unilock would be typing in for their own products. So they reached out to us and wanted to know what we were doing. That led to us doing a lot of seminars with Unilock on the road, traveling all over the place and meeting with contractors, which led us to get more contractors and suppliers as clients. So we work with Van Beek's and Lane's Landscape Supplies and Grand River Stone, as well as a number of their contractor clients. And we manage their online marketing. Sorry, I skipped forward there. So the way we help businesses is with these 4 pillars, if you will. First of all, we want to help our clients attract more of their ideal kind of prospective clients that are going to find them online through their digital properties, be it search engines, social media, or whatever. Secondly, differentiating their business from their competitors. It's easy to just blend in with everybody else. You need to look and have a story that sets you apart. So we help our clients do that. Third, converting those visitors into leads and opportunities. We don't just want visitors to look at your website and leave. We want them to engage and take action and capture their email address, or get them to call you, or get them into a database that you can market to them with. And then that leads into the 4th piece, which is nurturing the relationship with those people, recognizing that not everyone is ready to buy immediately, but once you start engaging with them, you have an opportunity to build a relationship with them over time and turn them into valuable paying customers.
And I want to interject there and say, Jason, thank you for this, because in this time where you have people out there gouging, you've been completely the opposite with Unilock, and have graciously done this simply as a courtesy to help everybody in our industry. And we really appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. I appreciate the opportunity. So the tools that we use are digital, of course. So we implement a strategic marketing plan. Digital marketing partner program is what we officially call it in our business. So our staff essentially become like an outsourced resource for our clients. So we're taking care of all of their online presence, from their website design and development, content writing, search engine optimization, paid advertising or pay-per-click on Google and social media advertising, display, retargeting, everything you can think of there.
But Jason, if somebody was approaching you and they wanted to just take morsels, they don't have to buy into an entire package. Can they segment what their requirements are? Can you tailor make for each individual?
To a certain extent, but it is like a machine. It works best when all the parts are moving and all the parts are working in unison, right? So typically not all of our clients are doing everything that we have to offer, but most of our clients are doing most of it. We're doing website design and development. We're doing search engine optimization, some paid advertising, lead nurturing or email marketing, some social media sharing and marketing or advertising as well. And of course, measuring the results to make sure that our clients are getting a good return on investment. So to answer
because one feeds into the other, so it's just
they're really interconnected. They're very dependent on one another. If you do one thing, you may get some results, but if you just send traffic to a website that isn't designed in a way that's going to convert visitors, you're really just, it's like throwing mud up against a wall and hoping it's going to stick. It's not necessarily going to have the best result for you. So typically an integrated strategy using all of these components is the best result that you're going to get for your business.
okay.
So today I want to share 3 things that that you or that your contractors should be doing immediately to protect their landscape businesses from the COVID-19 experience, if you will, and really rebound quickly when the lockdown is over. The first thing is communicate. I can't emphasize this enough. Your business is
I'm
not
smiling here because anyone who knows me knows that I'm just such an advocate for communication. So
yeah.
I'm
100%.
going to enjoy this.
Like even though you're stuck right now, you're sitting in your house wondering how the heck can I get my crews out there in people's yards doing work. It's just not possible right now. So the situation is not good, but your business isn't sick. Your business is interrupted by this situation. So it's very important to communicate to your customers and prospective customers how you're managing your business during this time. And that, right now you might be locked out. You can't really do anything. And I know that there's gray area, and Landscape Ontario is making strong recommendations to not do anything. And if it's an existing project, you can get out there.
And it's day by day. Everything is day by day.
Maintenance companies are still in demand. So there are so many variables right now. But the bottom line is, I think that just communicating, what are we doing? How can we help you? How can we help you plan right now? Because this is a great opportunity. People are sitting up in their homes. They're miserable and unhappy every time they look out the window and see that ugly backyard. So how can you get them excited? How can you get them to start thinking about the possibilities? So one of the most important things that you can do with communication is making sure that you're going into your Google My Business profile page and updating your hours of operation. If your business is temporarily closed, you can indicate so.
Does everybody have one?
They should. Every business has a page, whether or not they've claimed their page or not. I would say a lot of them probably haven't.
Well, how would you know if you did claim your page or not?
It'll say right on it when you search, it'll say this page has not been unclaimed, and there'll be a button there to claim this page.
Oh.
There's a process to go through.
Okay.
If anyone needs help with that, they can reach out to my office, and we'd be happy to help with that setup. But updating your Google My Business page is at least as important as your website, if not even more, because people will see that when they Google your business, when they search for your business on Google. Google has indicated that setting your business as temporarily closed will not impact your rankings on Google. It's also relevant to add content relating to how you're operating at this time, how you're keeping your staff and customers safe. And if you don't know how to do it, like I said, just reach out to my team and we'd be happy to help you. These are a couple examples. So we have on our client websites, the other thing to do is after you've updated your Google My Business page is update your website. We've used pop-up banners. We've used, for Van Beeks, they called yesterday that they're having a real problem because they're selling dirt and mulch and they're doing delivery only, which is what their pop-up banner says. But that phone number and that email address are getting inundated with calls. They can't even service them all. And because of COVID, they've had a lot of staff quit. So they're in a situation where they can't meet their demand. So they need staff urgently. So we they called us yesterday. We put up a banner right at the top of their website that they urgently need staff. There's an apply now button. We're even going to probably be doing some Facebook and Google advertising for them to find staff urgently at this time. So there's lots of things that you can do with your website, but keeping in mind that your audience is going to go to your website. They're going to, and if your website just looks like it always does, then there's no indication that you're even acknowledging the current situation. It's
Jason, I noticed how fast that went up for Van Beeks. It was almost immediate when this whole thing occurred that their website was relevant. How do you stay on top of that from client to client?
Well, the way we operate we have about, I think, 55 to 60 digital marketing partner clients. Okay. So the way our digital marketing partner programs work is we're like a staff person to our client's business. So we're proactively doing these things. So with our own initial communication on the 12th, when on March 12th, when the 11th, they announced that this was a global pandemic. On the 12th, we decided we were going to shut our office down. And I instructed my staff to immediately go into proactive mode and start reaching out to our customers and communicating to them what needs to be done and how they need to communicate with their customers. So right away, we made updates on their websites. We made email marketing.
Very cool. And it really just means that, you know, for all the things that one has to think about, this is one element of the business that you alleviate because you're proactively working on their behalf to make all messaging relevant.
Right.
Is that accurate?
100%. And it's not like we can't, it's like if you hired an employee in your company, you're not going to put that employee in charge of something and just walk away and say, do it. We need to work with our clients. We need to have a close relationship with them, but our clients have dedicated account managers that they talk to on a regular basis that are, and it works both ways. We're reaching out to them proactively. They're calling us when they need something. And we're here to take care of all of their online marketing. So it's one aspect of your business that you just know is being handled and taken care of. A good example is Chad from Lane's Landscape Supply. He just trusts us. We write all his content. He doesn't even read it. He gets people commenting all the time on his blog posts, and he just loves it. He comes into our office once in a while and just, you know, just to visit, and we have great meetings.
Maybe you shouldn't be sharing that, Jason.
we have other clients that are a lot more hands-on, but we'll work any way that our clients need us. We're here to serve them, and that's how we like to operate. Thirdly, with communications is on social media. This is really, you know, hopefully you've built social media and email marketing. So two things. Hopefully at this point you've built a database of customers and prospective customers that you have email addresses for. If you haven't done that, it's never too late to start, but it's really valuable because it's very low cost to send those communications out. And these are people who have shown interest or put their hand up and said, hey, I like you, I want to hear from you. So they've given you permission to email them, and now you can share valuable content with them.
You know, I know you've got a little piece about follow-up later on in the presentation, but I'm going to take this opportunity to say that I know that the majority of contractors out there do not follow up on their leads more than twice. That should be your database, because I'll also tell you that probably 80% of those customers were never sold. Yeah. You think they're sold because they're not getting back to you. So if you're actually even start a best practice today by capturing that information and reaching out to them, even if it's every 6 months or once a year or whatever you set for yourself, it's a good idea. Until they say no, that's not sold.
Well, I think, Carolyn, the biggest decision that people make when you're thinking about dumping $30 to $50 or $100,000 in your yard, that is a very stressful decision. There's a lot of moving parts to that, right? Coming up with the money and people moving around your yard for however many weeks or days. So there's a lot to that. So the easiest decision for people to make is not to make a decision.
Yeah.
And I would say the majority of leads don't make decisions, and they just sit there and float. So one of the things that we advocate for and do for all our clients is we create content on an ongoing basis through blogs and infographics and videos, and we share those content pieces on their website, through their social media, and through email marketing. So all those people who have put their hand up and said, I'm interested, but then haven't yet taken action, they're getting that content, and they might ignore it forever. There's a lot of your contractors that get my weekly tips that I send out, and I see them looking at it, and I don't hear from them, and I recognize that. But every once in a while, I get a phone call. Like this spring or winter, I had 2 contractors reach out to me that saw us at the Unilock Expo in Niagara-on-the-Lake 2 years ago. So it works. People that are they keep it on the back burner until they're ready, until they're motivated. I guess until their pain is big enough that they're willing to go through the pain to fix it. That's the motivation that people need, and they're not always there. So I think communicating in the interim through email marketing and social media is extremely valuable for any business to do. So I'm kind of getting off track here, but
Sorry about that.
No, that's not your fault at all. I'm just, when this kind of came down, a lot of the companies that we subscribe to, or basically any business that you've ever given your email address to, I'm sure you've been inundated with emails. We all have. I have, and it's like, holy crap! I'm getting all this spam, and it's spam until it's something that you need or something that triggers for you, right? I, for example, have rental properties, and I subscribe to Rockstar Real Estate. I'm a member of Rockstar Investors Group, right? So they sent out content that's pertinent to my investments, and I'm listening. I'm paying attention to that. I'm getting a lot of emails for different webinars and things that I can tune into to sort of protect my own business during this. So
it's not relevant until it is.
It's not relevant until it is, and the email, you never know. It's easy to hit delete. It's easy to hit delete. Yeah. And they always will. People will delete it, and it's spammy and whatever else until they need it. And when somebody's looking at their ugly backyard, and eventually they're just fed up, and they get that next email from you that shows a beautiful project that you just did, the chances are they're going to call you because they're going to remember you. They have awareness of who you are. You built a relationship with them, and that's really what social media is all about. And
you care about their job because you've maintained an interest, and that is a massive factor for people actually deciding on a contractor.
Yes. So the other thing I was going to say about communication, with time now on your hands, this is a great time to get into your social media and start sharing success stories and before and after and project like designs or ideas, concepts. Just, this is a great time to use your time to engage your audience more, and get the messaging out there. Next, I think it's really important to adapt. I think that even when COVID-19 is long gone, the way that we all do business is going to change. I think that this is a significant enough thing that it's going to change just a lot of how we do business in our daily life. And this technology that we're using right now on Zoom, I think is going to become a real solution that businesses are going to lean on. So I think in the landscaping industry, it's a good practice to adapt to the change your business, so that you can continue generating revenue now and in the future. As you know, we don't really know what to expect, what it's going to look like exactly.
How good would it feel to have an entire year's worth of business booked well in advance?
Right.
I know that a lot of guys wake up as it approaches spring and they're ready to throw up because the stress of recognizing they've got 2-3 months booked maybe, and then the balance of the year to fill. What a great planning opportunity to just persevere and lock in jobs.
Not
and
only
create
that,
a sense of urgency.
Carolyn, like if you rewind to last summer or any summer in the past, at whatever number of years, the traditional approach is the contractors, depending on who they are and how big their company is, if they're on the tools, they're out there working, getting dirty, and then they have a new client that wants a quote. They got to get cleaned up and go to the property and show up and you know, take their measurements, and they don't know how qualified that prospect is and everything. Now, what if they could use these tools more effectively so that they take ownership of their evenings back, and now they can sit there and have a face-to-face meeting with a prospective client on their cell phone. Even like the client can be walking around with a cell phone showing the contractor what their backyard currently looks like and what they have in mind, right? You can streamline a lot of your business practices.
It remains interactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, I was talking with Doug Taylor from Frontiers Landscape, who's a friend of mine. And that's what he's doing. You know, he's using software. He's using software and quoting tools and customers filling out forms and taking their own measurements. And he's charging for drawings. And I'm going to talk about this in another slide, but that is the sort of thing that we need to do right now to adapt, because you can sit in your house and literally watch your business die, or you can like, this is a picture of a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, or a shadow becoming a butterfly, because we need to adapt all of our business. We need to figure out how everything just changed. How do we make money during
and
this?
It gives the homeowner something to do.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, and this is kind of what I was talking about. I went to Google Earth and I typed in my address and I zoomed in, and this is the overhead view from millions of miles out there in space or whatever of my house with my car in the driveway, and it's pretty accurate. It's dated because we had a play set and that's no longer there. So this is maybe a year old or whatever, but at least it gives you the bird's eye view of kind of what the property looks like, which could be helpful for. It doesn't give you measurements, but it gives you a bit of an understanding without physically going to the property.
Actually, some guys have learned to measure from this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and there's ways that you can use virtual quoting tools and business management software to make your business more virtual. On your phone, you've got FaceTime. What a great tool that is now. Then you can just hold your phone in your hand, have a conversation. You could be on the job site having a face-to-face conversation with a prospective customer. Like it's different, sure, but I think that the average consumer is going to realize very quickly that's how they have to do business from now on as well. So the traditional ways of doing business are changing as we speak. Using forms so that your customers or prospects can upload images of their property. You can tell them kind of the how to stand and how to face the property when they take the pictures, so that you can get the images that you need, so that you can do 3D designs and things like that. The client uploads measurements, and then they can even sign off on designs or project scopes and things like that electronically. Again, making it easier for you. They can just wire the money right to your bank account. Like, technology is a tool that probably is very underutilized, that I think that we're all realizing now are necessary. And
are these forms that you create, Jason?
Yeah, we can create forms on your website, secure forms, so that if they're giving confidential information, it's secure. It's not going to be at risk.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's also software that you can subscribe to. It really depends on how you want to structure it. And then I just use this as an example of a 3D design. But when I was talking to Doug from Frontiers, this is what one of the things that he's charging for is doing 3D designs, and just having the client provide all the information and sign off, and then they're able to do that work and generate revenue even during this time when they can't go into the backyard.
Right.
And then thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, is you still need to market. You still need to generate leads for your business. There may be fewer people that are in the market to buy right now, so it's even more important that you're present. Your competitors will take advantage of the opportunity if you don't. So it's really important to take advantage of it. And right now, I really feel that the best approach is the approach that I've taken and the approach that we're recommending to everybody. This is not a time to try and hard sell or get people to rush to decisions. This is a time to be creative, to be helpful, to provide content that is going to be valuable to your audience. But I'm thinking about like the idea of working from home and having a backyard office is something that, you could get people starting to think about ideas of how they could use their backyard more effectively during this season for their working conditions. Some businesses are backing off on Google advertising, pay-per-click, and a lot of our clients have. We've even recommended it to some of them, but then we've had some clients in certain industries call and choose to advertise more because there's good opportunity out there. So you need to weigh that. I really don't think that it's necessarily the best option for a luxury product like backyard landscaping. Maybe more so for maintenance, like yard cleanups and grass cutting and that sort of thing right now are still very relevant. And I think with the elderly population in particular, they're not going to want to be outside. Like they're probably afraid to even be in their own yard. So there could be a real good opportunity to do some advertising for those types of commodity services that people have a need for.
And I wonder how fast it's going to go from luxury to requirement. If you can't travel, and then people are going to be nervous to travel, and you may not want to go up north or make another investment. But if you can make an investment at home, how great is that?
100%. And right now they're saying like they don't even want people to go to their cottage, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how long that's going to last. I'm sure that the strings will loosen at some point. But yeah, I think that the idea of making our own properties more luxurious is going to become more prevalent than ever before, because this is where we're spending all our time now. This is it. This is our home, right? So this weekend, I'm not a very handy person, but I took out my tools and I put a floor down in my basement office here because it had a cold tile floor and I wanted to warm it up. And I've been thinking about it for years, and I put vinyl laminate flooring in my basement. It's such a sense of accomplishment to have it done, but and that's a DIY project. But what I'm getting at is people need to make their space more comfortable to live and work in and spend their time in. So absolutely, I think that people are going to be investing more into their living space, including the backyard. This slide here is really our philosophy. We call it our website return on investment pyramid, and it's really the heartbeat of how we operate and what we believe is important to get a return on investment. And it actually it builds upon what we were discussing a few minutes ago with those 6 things that we do for our clients, and whether we do 1 or 2 of those things or all of those things really work in conjunction, right? But to get the best, the most important thing that you need to get a good return on investment from your digital marketing and your online presence is a website that is optimized to convert. So we call it a conversion rate optimized website. All that means is that we need to make the website attractive and influential enough that it's going to inspire people to take action. It has to have the right.
That was a loaded sentence.
Yeah.
You need to repeat that.
I need to repeat it. You want to generate leads. You don't want people to come and look at your website, say, oh, that's fine, or I don't really like it, or what does this company even do? You want it to be very clear that who you are, what you do, and how it meets the need of your audience. So,
You know, it's funny you say that, because when I'm talking to a homeowner, maybe they call in to check about a contract, or maybe it's a lead, whatever the case may be. As soon as that company name is mentioned, the first thing they do is Google the company name to find a website. And I feel in some cases that I have to explain who this contractor is. His work is impeccable, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. But when they land on that website, it's, you know, they become suspect in the homeowner's brain. So
absolutely.
I think this is good.
It's your credibility. It's not just your credibility, but when I say conversion rate optimized, you can have a website that looks great, but if it doesn't make some people take action, then it's useless. You want them to call you, fill out your request form, download something valuable, and subscribe to your mailing list. Sign up for something, buy something, whatever those. Every business is a little bit different, but it has to be optimized to convert visitors into leads and opportunities. So that's what I mean by conversion rate optimized, and that's the foundation. When you build a stone patio, if you just went and dug out the dirt and threw the stones on top of the dirt, it's going to look like hell the next season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your website, is your
Mm-hmm.
foundation. You have to make it work to get the results that you want. So we always start with the website. 9 times out of 10, that means building a website. Every once in a while, somebody's got a decent website. It just needs to be polished and improved upon, and we'll do that. One of the contractors that came to us earlier this season, or this winter, they had a decent website. We had to make improvements to it. We made a lot of improvements. We wrote new content, and we really massaged a lot about the design, but we built it within their existing website infrastructure. We didn't have.
Is it better not to have a website than have a lousy website?
Yeah, well, it's not good to not have a website, but it's not good. It's really not good to have a bad website. If you've got a website that you're not proud of, it's going to hurt your business. Chances are, if you don't have something that you say to any prospect, you need to look at my website because it's awesome, then it's not good enough.
The amount of times I hear guys say, that's what I'm going to work on. But, it's a forever changing priority in what we do in this business. So to have a partner, somebody like yourself, that actually takes care of all these needs, that you don't have to think about it, to me, that just seems like a no-brainer, no stress, and somebody who's an expert in what they do. I know when I'm talking to a contractor or a dealer, and we all say the same thing to each other, oh, I could never do what you do. And they say the same thing to me, and I say, but aren't we great when we all work together and you do what you do really well, and you do what you do really well? If we just bring in the experts, such as yourself, to make this something viable and interesting, and at the end of the day, profitable, no?
Absolutely. And that's what leads us. So once you have that foundation built of a website that's working, that's doing its job, then you want to be found by people who are actively searching. Like if you took everybody, right, the world is everybody, and you're like, who do I want to get my message in front of? You could say, I want to get my message in front of everybody, and that's fine. Or you could say, well, I only want to get my message in front of the people who are looking for what I have right now. So we think that the best approach is to get your message in front of the people that have a need for what you have right now.
And knowing who you are is a big part of that. I always say to guys, like, if your forte is driveways and walkouts and smaller patios and that type of thing, that's what your website should reflect. if your expertise is design build, well, that's what your website should reflect, and the messaging. So is that kind of what you dig into to portray who they are, what they do?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, what we want to do is because there's different type, every business doesn't sell, for the most part, doesn't sell only one type of product or service to one type of customer. Normally there are 2 or 3 different types of products or services that they sell to 2 or 3 different personas, like so different target audiences. So you might be doing design and build, lawn maintenance, and commercial work, right? So those are the 3 funnels, if you will. So it's important that the home page, the main landing page of your website, immediately identifies those 3 unique groups visually, so that they can say, boom, that's me. And then they click on that, and then it takes them to a section of the website that's more geared directly at their needs.
But also education wise, and I say that because from a homeowner's perspective, at least the ones that I talk to, I would say like as high as 90%, they don't have a clue that guys do, well, they do fencing too. Well, yeah, they can do a pergola. Well, yeah, they can do irrigation too. They think that they have to piecemeal this entire project together, which creates stress.
Right.
Rather than understanding, like you said, landing there and understanding, no, we do the whole thing.
Yeah. And that's a matter of the messaging and the content and the visuals that you put. Mm-hmm. So I just want to be respectful of time. So I just wanted to talk a little bit more about, once you've got a website that is optimized to convert your visitors, then you need to go about getting your visitors. So organic search and pay-per-click advertising, and then email marketing and retargeting. So I'm going to talk about these in detail, but these first 4 tiers are really to generate leads and attract an audience of people who are actively searching or have shown interest in what you provide in the short term. And then at the top of the pyramid are more branding exercises and getting your message out in front of people who are potentially in your network of prospective customers. So it's really a matter of getting a message out there to an audience that is like people who have bought from you. So we do that through selecting like audiences and doing social media posting and advertising, and then display advertising. So usually when we talk about budgets, we recommend to our clients to focus first on the lower 4 tiers. And then if there's budget left, then you can get into some of the higher end stuff of more branding. But most of our customers are looking for that more immediate, I need to generate leads and sell now. So focusing on those first 4 levels is how we tend to recommend to our clients to focus. So I just want to highlight the value of conversion rate optimization. So if you have a typical website, will convert the industry average, depending overall internet websites, is approximately 3% of website visitors convert into leads. So that means that if you got 1,000 visitors to your website, you're going to get 30 leads. Let's say you book 30% of those book an appointment, so you get 10 appointments from those 1,000 visitors, and your closing ratio is between 20 and 30%. You're going to get 2 or 3 sales. But if you can make improvements to your conversion rate on the website, without changing the traffic, everything else remaining equal, just improve the website itself. The same traffic, the same everything, the 1,000 visitors, but you have an 8% conversion rate. My office average is over 9% last year, and we're always measuring this, and we're tracking it, and we measure it year over year, and we compare it, and we track how the visitors are getting to the website and how it's improving. So 8% is reasonable. It's a number that's realistic. So for that same 1,000 visitors, you would get 80 leads. The same ratio of appointments to leads would give you 26 appointments. And the same ratio of sales would be 5 to 8 customers instead of 2 or 3. And to put that in dollar perspective, over here, you've got 2 or 3 sales. Let's say it's $30,000 average sale. That's $60,000 to $90,000 of gross revenue at a 20% margin is about $12,000 to $18,000 in profit, compared to, again, just improving your website, not doing anything else, getting 5 to 8 sales instead at the same price, meaning your gross revenue goes to 150 to 240. 20% margin gives you $30,000 to $48,000 in profit. I realize those numbers, some people are going to say that's nothing, and some people are going to say that's a lot. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, because I'm talking about a finite 1,000 visitors to the website. You can get 1,000 visitors in a summer, in a year, in a month, or in a week, right? So it all depends on how much volume you can handle. But the point being that just by making improvements to your website, you can increase your profit margin by that much. It's significant. It's worthwhile to focus on.
And am I allowed to ask the question, what is a typical investment with web ROI?
That's a difficult question, and it puts us on the spot. We're definitely not the cheapest option out there for websites.
We're not the cheapest option out there, but we're worth it.
Yeah, exactly. So typically our average clients are investing between $30,000 and $58,000 a year on their digital marketing, including our company and their ad spend. Okay. And it's a reasonable way to go to get a good return on investment.
Okay. But I mean, it's worth a conversation, of figuring it out, how to achieve that.
Wait, I'm not calling anyone to do anything right now, but if anyone of your contractors want to have a conversation, we can have a 15-minute chat, see if it makes sense. If it does, we'll have a more in-depth discovery meeting, see if we can help them based on figure out what the budget is and everything else. And then if it makes sense, we would be able to start working together. And if not, then it's totally okay. But that would be usually a 15-minute conversation is a good starting point for us to figure out if we're a good fit. If you like, I can give you a link to my calendar. If anybody's interested in booking a 15-minute meeting with me, they can do so.
This is good.
So next, moving up the pyramid, once you've got a converting website, is search engine optimization and paid search marketing. So search engine optimization is the process of making Google or whatever search engine perceive your website as relevant for a particular search term. You think of your business and you say, oh, well, I just want to show up for landscapers Oakville or whatever. And that makes sense, but I guarantee that is not what even most people will type into Google when they're looking for your services. They type in everything. There's all kinds of keywords, and you can't possibly be ranked for every one of them organically. So doing pay-per-click advertising allows you to get a web presence or Google presence for all the keywords that are relevant to your industry in the geography that you want to target. So I think both of these strategies in conjunction are really important. Again, maybe not right now because everybody's locked in their homes, but in a normal circumstance, pay-per-click it makes a lot of sense. We say that search engine optimization is more like a farming approach because it needs to be consistent and nurtured to keep your ranking relevant in the search engine. We need to be adding content and building links and doing all kinds of things apart from your website that help keep you ranked, including your Google My Business or Google Maps page. But with pay-per-click, it's more like hunting. You're just, as long as you're willing to pay for a click onto your website, you're going to get that traffic. It's a guaranteed approach to getting visitors to your website, and you don't pay just to have your ads show up. You only pay when they click through on it. So then we're looking at a conversion rate or a percentage of those paid visitors to convert into a lead by filling out your form or calling you or whatever. And that's how we track return on investment. But it allows you to really target your geography, your keywords, your competitors' names even. Bidding on your own name is relevant because when someone searches for, ABC landscaping company, your competitors could bid on your name and they could actually show up ahead of you. So it makes sense for you to bid on your name so that you're not getting outranked by your competitor that's bidding on your business name. And then nurturing those leads, like remember, like we said earlier, not everybody's ready to buy now. You need to follow up with them. You can call them once or twice. That makes sense to do, but we're all the same. We're not going to follow up with the 7 times that you should follow up. In most cases, you're just not going to have the stick-to-itiveness to do that. So rely on some automation to stay in contact with your prospective customers. You can do marketing automation. You can even do it, with MailChimp and Constant Contact. There's inexpensive ways to automate some marketing follow-up. But you send a quote to somebody, waits a certain period of time, sends a follow-up email, waits a certain period of time, it sends another follow-up, waits a certain period of time, says, hey, it sounds like you're not making a decision right now. Here's some ideas. Maybe you can think about it for next season. So it's just a matter of having that
But you're keeping it fresh.
Automated conversation, keeping it fresh, yeah. And realizing that not everybody makes a decision right away, so you just have to roll with that. But by using tools, you can actually make your job a lot easier and make follow-up more automated.
And you don't know that their neighbor isn't doing the project, and now they've got somebody that they can refer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And not only that, yes, referrals and staying top of mind is it's a good practice. So when we work with our clients, we're creating content. Like I said, we're doing blogs and infographics and videos. So we share that through social media and through email marketing. So it's like that constant reminder of who you are, what you do, what you're good at, the quality of work you're doing. Just dripping on people, and they may not be ready right now, but when they are, I assure you, you're going to come to mind because they've been hearing about you forever, and they probably ignored it or deleted it. But when it's relevant, it's relevant. Retargeting is also important. When somebody visits your website, I'm sure that some of your contractors may have seen these when they visit a competitor's website, and then it seems like their competitors' ads are showing up all over the place. That might resonate with you, it may not, but sometimes you visit a website and then you keep seeing that brand repeated when you're going around different websites and looking at articles and whatever, or even on Facebook. I think
we all have, yeah.
And that's called remarketing or retargeting. What happens is you visit a website, the website puts a cookie on your browser to say that you've been there, and then for like a 30-day period after you've been there, you'll get served up those ads as a reminder. So again, it's just another way to build your brand, build recognition, get that reticular activating system firing so that your name is like top of mind. They just think of you when they think of landscaping. And then finally, the very peak, the top point of the pyramid is display advertising and social media ads. And that's where you're really just kind of broadcasting your message out there to like audiences of people that match the profile of the kind of people that you want to sell to. It does work, but it takes a lot more exposures to get results. And you'll get people clicking on your ads, but the conversion rate on those clicks is very, very, very low. It's minuscule. So you need a lot of eyeballs, a lot of clicks to get a return on investment. And that's why we always push that to being one of the last things that we recommend to our clients to do. So I'll wrap up here, and I just want to let everyone know that we're here to help. I'm the president of the company. You can reach out to me directly, or you can call Denise Bowen. She's our director of digital marketing, and she leads all the client services deliverables for our staff, for our clients, and manages our staff. So I would welcome anybody to reach out, and I can also provide you with my my calendar link if you'd like for anybody that wants to have a conversation now or in the future.
Thank you very much for doing this, Jason. And Jason has graciously agreed to do more of this in the future. So stay tuned on the Unilock website, and thank you for coming out. And we hope this leads to profitability in your business. Thank you again, Jason.
thank you very much, Carolyn. I really appreciate the opportunity, and good luck to everybody. Stay healthy.